Hello, my name is Jacob Guzman, and today I will be presenting my final project for CYB640, Threat Hunting and Incident Response. This presentation summarizes a series of real-world investigations completed through Blue Team Labs online. Each lab simulated a different stage of cyber defense, from detecting persistence and brute force attacks to analyzing malware, ransomware, and web application compromises. The focus today will be on what was learned, how these techniques apply to enterprise security operations, and how they align with the organization's overall defense goals. Here is a quick overview of today's presentation. I will begin with a short project summary to establish context. Then I will walk through five main investigations. SOC Alpha 1 and 2, which focused on alert analysis and attacker persistence, followed by two network investigations involving malware and ransomware, and finally a WordPress log analysis case. I will close with key takeaways and lessons learned that highlight how these exercises strengthen detection and response skills. This project combines several areas of Blue Team operations, including threat hunting, forensic analysis, and incident response. Using platforms such as the AlkStack, Wireshark, and LogView Plus, I simulated how a security operations center would detect and analyze real attacks. The main objective was to build hands-on experience in identifying persistence, credential theft, malware infections, and web application compromises. The overall goal was to show how proactive detection and structured investigation can reduce risk in enterprise environments. In the SOC Alpha 1 investigation, I analyzed suspicious PowerShell activity using KQL queries in Kibana. The command invoke-web request was used to download a malicious executable named msworker.exe, which I confirmed was configured to persist in the Windows Startup folder. I also found registry auto-run keys and a scheduled task named mytask, both of which provided persistence. This exercise shows how attackers maintain access after a reboot and why monitoring PowerShell commands, registry changes, and startup activity is essential for threat detection. SOC Alpha 2 simulated an intrusion that began with a brute force login attempt. I used Windows event logs to identify the attacker's source IP and confirm multiple failed logins followed by a successful one. I then traced PowerShell commands that disabled Windows Defender, discovered a suspicious domain connection, and located the credential dumping tool mimikatz.exe. This investigation revealed a full attack chain that included brute force access, system modification, domain contact, and credential theft. It demonstrated the importance of event correlation in tracking attacker behavior. The malware's compromise case focused on analyzing a packet capture in Wireshark. By filtering HTTP requests, I found a suspicious rare file downloaded from a known malicious IP address. Additional analysis showed the host communicating with two well-known malware families, URSNIF and Dridex, which are linked to banking Trojans. By working backward from the file download, I reconstructed the full infection chain. This investigation demonstrated how careful packet inspection can uncover how an infection begins and spreads within a network. The ransomware investigation began by identifying a file named safecrypt.exe transferred through HTTP. After checking its hash on VirusTotal, it matched the TeslaCrypt ransomware family. The ransom note revealed encryption using RSA-4096, and further analysis identified the domain involved in the attack. I concluded the case by decrypting an encrypted document using Trend Micro's ransomware decryptor, successfully restoring the data. This lab reinforced the importance of early detection, strong backups, and understanding encryption behavior during ransomware response. In this investigation, I examined WordPress server logs to uncover a web compromise. Searching for admin login patterns revealed unauthorized access to the wp-login.php endpoint. I also found evidence of common attacker tools such as wp-scan and SQL-map, and discovered a malicious web shell named freak.php. Research linked the intrusion to a known vulnerability, CVE 2020 35489, in the Simple File List plugin. This exercise demonstrated the importance of timely patching, plugin management, and continuous web log monitoring to prevent exploitation. Across all investigations, one message stood out. Effective detection depends on visibility and correlation. Attackers rarely rely on a single tactic. They combine multiple steps to avoid being noticed. Consistent analyst training enables early detection before significant damage occurs. These case studies showed that even small indicators such as a PowerShell command or a registry change can expose a much larger compromise if reviewed correctly. Through these labs, I developed a more structured and analytical mindset. I learned to analyze logs from multiple sources, recognize attacker tactics, and connect related events into a full picture. I also saw how important proper documentation and organized reasoning are during investigations. These experiences improve my technical analysis, report writing, and communication skills, all of which are vital for working in a security operations center environment. Reflecting on this course, I gained a much deeper understanding of how threat hunting and incident response work in real world environments. Each investigation helped strengthen my ability to analyze alerts, correlate evidence, and make confident decisions based on data. I also learned how critical communication is when explaining technical findings to leadership and non technical teams. These labs not only improved my technical proficiency, but also built confidence in finding the answers to problems online through various resources. I feel better prepared to contribute effectively in a security operations center and continue growing as a cybersecurity professional. These investigations were completed using Blue Team Labs Online, which provided realistic cybersecurity scenarios for malware analysis, SOC alert triage, and web application forensics. Each case, including SOC Alpha 1 and 2, network analysis, and the compromised WordPress investigation, contributed to building both technical and analytical experience in threat hunting and incident response.